Hey guys, it's Overlord here, back in with another edition of Saturday Morning Cartoons, and today we're talking about All Dogs Go to Heaven 2. It makes sense because I just reviewed the first one last week, we might as well review the second one this week. This is the one that everyone shits on, to be completely honest with you. I like it. Is it as good as the first one? In some cases, maybe. In some cases, no. I will say the animation is a lot more, it's less clear than the first one. There's way more clarity in the first one. But this was completely MGM, which I forgot to mention in the first one's video, or last week I should say. It is actually owned by MGM, who do nothing but Tom and Jerry reboots. I've seen them. They suck. Suck! They're running out of ideas. I'll be surprised if they're still around in 10 years. Whatever happened to Droopy Dog? What the frick? I'm so happy. Either way, this is not about any of that shit. It's about All Dogs Go to Heaven 2. Why is it bad? Well, the animation, like I said, kind of a downgrade. But still better than some of the shit that's on now, because it actually has detail. The songs are kind of cheesy. I mean, the first one was cheesy, but this one seems a little bit more cheesy. Although I do like the villain song. The instrumental is still good. The instrumental, I will say, that's probably the better half of the film's soundtrack. The final battle, definitely, because it's like freaking super freaking, I guess just an epic sound. It sounds like it's really big. It's really not. But, plot of the second movie, well, first of all, Charlie Sheen takes over for Burt Reynolds, as the voice of Charlie Barkland, so that's kind of odd. But Dom DeLuise returns as, Itchy, because you can't replace Dom DeLuise. That's a no-no. I never mentioned Annabelle in, last week's video, but Annabelle is the pink dog that runs heaven. Her voice acting changed from something a little bit more knowledgeable to something a little bit more airheaded. She was Cuckoo and the Coconuts. Excuse me. And she's pretty much the voice of her to the end of the series, because they had a animated series on PBS. The hell? And a Christmas special, which we will review during December. Not now. December. Got it. Not to mention the fact that Ernest Borgnine actually also, he takes the role of Carface in this film. And Killer is not in this film, but he is in the cartoon show and the Christmas special. What the hell? Some of the connections are lost. And then there are some new characters. What's it, Sasha LaFleur or some... I don't know, it sounds like a stripper name to me. She's voiced by Sheena Easton. I know John Gaither knows who that is. I already poked fun at him in the last video. But Sheena Easton, 80s pop, 90s pop artist, she is the voice of Sasha, and then the kid she watches over, he ran away from home. I'm guessing she found him on the streets, or he owned her prior to that. I think she found him, or he found her, or somebody found somebody. I don't remember. But, yeah, she's been taking care of this kid, David, for, I think only a few months, so it's not even that dramatic. And the kid ran from home because, well, it's not explained that well, actually. I think it's because I believe his mom dies. His dad gets a new girlfriend, duh, and moves on. And either he didn't like or he was having a little brother. I can't remember. But one of those two reasons, I've heard, I think, both on other videos I've seen. But that's why he ran away from home. But that's not the main plot of the movie, because the kid does get home at the end of the film. So, the main plot of the movie, Gabriel's horn, which opens the gates to doggy heaven. God knows you don't need that shit to open the regular ones or anything, because there are no humans in heaven. Oh, yeah. No. Carface steals it and brings it to his quote-unquote boss, which we'll get to. Yeah, so Charlie and Itchy are sent to go after it. Itchy, I will also say, dies between the two films, the first one and the second one. He choked on a chicken bone. Mwah, 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 mwah. Either way. Who cares? He's alive. So they go down to Earth. Again. But it's not in New Orleans. It's in San Francisco. San Francisco. Just let that sink in. San Francisco. But what year does it take place in? Well, the movie came out in either 96 or 97. So I'd say 96 or 97, because there's no way in hell. No way in hell that, this is in the 30s still. Especially if you watch, like, the cartoon series. It's not. There's no way. It is not. It's not. It's not. And the thing that gets me is they never revisit Anne Marie's character. Like, I could see her as, like, an older lady showing up during the movie or during the cartoon series, but they never did that. Maybe because of what happened to her voice actress. But then again, you just get a replacement one because it's been so many freaking years. Could do that. Or somehow have her suspiciously related to this David kid, the new kid. Little tie-ins like that do wonders. But unfortunately, Don Bluth was, I don't think he was working on this film at all, which is why nobody likes it. So, at the end of the day, MGM pretty much just ransacked Don Bluth's characters and made a shitty spin-off, as far as I'm concerned, but it's not a bad shitty spin-off. It's an okay one. The main villain's where it's at, though. Red. He is a shape-shifting Hellcat. I say Hellcat because he's a cat demon guy who gets humongous and frickin' throws down with Charlie and Alcatraz at the end of the movie. That's the best part, and it's the ending, because thank God it's over, and the freaking final battle's pretty sick, I will say. Because basically, here's the breakdown. Red gets the horn, right? Obviously. He starts playing it. The gates of heaven open up, but it's like all evil and looking and shit. And it sucks all the dogs out of heaven, puts them in the cells in the Alcatraz, and then Alcatraz starts descending into hell. That's pretty sick, bro. Not gonna lie. I've seen lots of really good final battle scenes, and I will say that's freaking badass compared to what Gargoyles' final battle was. What the hell was that shit, man? Come on, ABC. God. NBC or whoever the hell was playing it during season 3. What were you doing? Either way, the second All Dogs Go to Heaven is not a bad film. In fact, there's a lot of good parts in it. I do like the motorcycle chase scene, or the part where they're raising hell in the police department's building or whatever. That was pretty funny. There's a lot of good parts, and then of course, Easy Street, where the sun isn't shining because apparently when you F up the song towards the end, the rain just comes in and turns your day to shit. So, pretty interesting actually. That's one of the better songs in the film, I must say. And another thing, this film did something kind of awkward. They tried to pull a Jessica Rabbit. What is a Jessica Rabbit? Well, it's when a film or a cartoon tries to make a fake character, quote-unquote, sexy and appealing to the male or female audience. And they did that with Sasha. Sasha's a dog. I don't care if that's your thing. It's not mine. Although I will note, her singing voice isn't bad, but it's Sheena Easton, so that's kind of a given. And that dog had a little bit of a chest on it, full blown, just a little whoop. What the hell? What are we thinking, MGM? Damn. But yeah, they tried to do that, and the worst part is it's a slow, sexy song in a bar full of dogs. Come on, you got a little more class than that, don't you? Oh boy. Overall, I'm gonna give All Dogs Go to Heaven 2 an 8 out of 10. It's better than a lot of stuff I've seen. I grew up watching this one, so ultimately I almost prefer that one to the first one, but I kind of like to link the two together so it makes sense. It's all. Anne Marie is David's great aunt on his new mom's side, because his mom in the movie has black hair, so there's Anne Marie. You fudge it a little bit, and there you go. It's not that difficult. They could have even just had her picture in the background somewhere of his parents' house, but you never see his parents' house. So I don't know. I think with a little bit more thought, this movie could have been really good. And if they weren't trying to give sickos boners, that would have been another plus. But that's another story for another time. So All Dogs Go to Heaven 2, I give it an 8. Some people probably give it like a nothing, but I give it an 8. It's worth watching once. The first one I believe is the better of the two, just because it's Don Bluth. The writing's a little better. It's a little funnier. The songs, they're ridiculous, but it's Dom DeLuise and Burt Reynolds. You can't say no to that. So at the end of the day, the first one ultimately, again, is better. So, with that being said, when do we get an Iron Giant 2? And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.